Okay, so who's going first?
Yeah, who wants first? Who wants first in the depressing press conference after a harsh sweep?
I mean, I guess I'll go first.
All right, what we got?
Even even though you got swept, what do you feel like is something that you did really good this series, and what is something that you feel you can improve on?
Best thing this series was first inning attack. I can say that because in games 1 and 2 we at least were able to get on the board real quick when we can get into that position. It's just rough to see that we couldn't capitalize in any other point of the game afterwards though. So yeah, our improvement definitely has to go into everything after the first inning, and then we might have to improve on pitching a little bit. So yeah, who else we got?
You were up in both the first games. You were up by a pretty decent margin in the first inning. Do you think that this is just a fluke and you'll find your footing later in the season, or is this telling of a bigger problem that you may have to try to work out in the batting cages or the
I
pitching range?
think that is a good question. It's gonna be tough to determine. I want to say it's a fluke because we at least performed really well at the start, but then again, it is without a doubt. If we ever end up losing the lead in those kinds of positions, our batting has to step up. But another thing is that we see a problem in our pitching since giving up way too many hits, too many runs later in the game that really costed us late in the first two games.
Okay, hey Lance, Milo Malarkey from Sports Center here. Um, what happened?
What do you think happened? We started good and then just faltered for the rest of the game. That's pretty much
So
all I can say.
so with that being said, what are the key what are some key things you could take away from this game from both good and the bad?
We got to hit better. We definitely have to hit better. Once we get a lead, we have to make sure we get insurance. A 3-run cushion at the first inning is not enough. So we have to learn to bring more batters on, not ground out into double plays, and make sure that we can execute as many times as we can.
Okay, just before I I'm sorry.
You're good.
Just before I step off, Mr. Lance, compared to last season, well, not compared to the season, but something completely different, but also related to the league. You did make content for weekly highlights for throughout the entirety of the league. Are we gonna see that type of content again in season two?
I don't know, cause I'm already gonna be editing the post game highlights for everything else, but I don't know if I'll have time for games of the week again.
Okay, thank you very much, Lance.
Yep.
I have one more question about the game, or
Yep.
actually more about your opponent. We saw that their pitching rotation was very, very strong. They had a Daigugetsu, they
Yeah.
had a Aoba, and they had someone else I can't remember off the top of my head, but with
Wait.
that type of pitching rotation, they have a very strong team, it looks like on paper. What do you think the Ramblewood Nacos could do in the season? What do you think is a good prediction for them?
I definitely see them being top 5 team. I definitely do see them being in the top 5 of the end of season standings. They will make the promotion playoffs, and I would not question them getting promoted up into Triple P next season.
Any thoughts about Aoba, Blue Mood Aoba, being able to go a solid 8 innings on you in that game 3?
It's I don't know what to say. It's just how it happened. It messed with me a little bit. We were able to hit, but it just didn't work out the way that we wanted it to, and we weren't able to make big hits in big moments. Aki, do we have any questions from you? Or all right. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for the questions.
Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Thank you very
Yep.
much. Thank you.